It is time to put away those fairy wands, those egg beaters, those sissy sticks. Well, sometimes, and go power fishing. I love to power fish in June. Big rods, big line, big baits. It's my favorite time of year. From now until October, it is very rarely are you going to see me using a spinning rod or finesse rig. You know, maybe, and we'll talk about that later on. But right now, what I want to do to go catch bass, it's gotta start with a crankbait, and a deep diving crankbait at that. I love to get out in the deeps. The bass have moved out late May, early June, and one of the first things you can catch them on is a deep diving crankbait. Some of my favorite deep diving crankbaits range anywhere from the Rapala DT20 series, the Duo G87 20A, which is their 20-foot diver. They got a 15A too. Any of the Strike King XD series, the XD series from 8 to 20. And there's even some out there that dive down to up to 30 foot deep, which in the lakes I fish is extremely useful. So for me, at number 5 has got to be a deep diving crankbait for June. The Deep Dive app. You know, that's one of the things that I love about this app is it's going to tell us where the water flows are. It's going to tell us if the water is rising, which it had come up another 2 feet from a week ago when we were here last. And it's also going to give us wind direction. So if we can line up on some of those banks with a little bit of wind, we can keep that bite going a little bit later in the day, even on a sunny day like today. As far as the Deep Dive app, you geeks really need to try this. It is becoming one of my pre-trip planning apps. And when I'm going to make moves on the water, I am always checking to see which way the wind's blowing. It is the #1 link down in the description. Make sure you go check it out. It does help the channel out a little bit. Now, sometimes fishing gets tough in June and the bass school up. And later in June, they start to get a lot of pressure. So you got to throw some different things at them. Now, I don't throw little 3-inchers at them a whole lot. This time of year, I'm throwing big minnows. 5, 6, 7, 8-inch minnows like this from Jackal. This is the drift fry. So there's 2 hooks. When you're using these bigger baits, there's 2 ball head jigs that you want to look into. One is from Big Daddy Baits, but it's got a longer shank hook that is going to go farther down these big baits bodies, which is going to increase your hookup ratio. The other is by Dirty Jigs. It's the new guppy head that comes in up to a 5/0 hook. Both of them make those heads in different sizes, so you may want to go check those out to make sure they pair up with the bait you're using. Now, some of the other baits that I like, the 5-inch winged fluke from Zoom, the new fat armor shad from Demiki. Also from Demiki, and I like their 5-inch, it's probably my go-to, but they make them all the way up to 7 inches. And that's number 4, and that's really going to be the only thing that I use a spinning rod for this month. Next up, we got to talk about spoons. And there's a couple of spoons that I love. One of them is the Lake Fork spoon from Nichols. It's a smaller, more compact spoon that gets a ton of bites. It's still got a lot of weight, so you can fish it really deep. But unlike the big spoons that get all the publicity, believe it or not, that smaller 3+ inch spoon or 4+ inch spoon does an amazing job. They've even got a Mojo spoon, and I love to put a crank wrap on it so it looks even more natural in the clear waters that I fish. Now, if you got a little stain to your lake, definitely leave that thing so that it gets all the flash it can get. The other spoon, of course, we are going to upsize to the big Ben Parker 8-inch flutter spoon. That is an amazing big bait if you've got an abundance of big bait fish that the bass are feeding on. Always remember, a spoon is an incredible summertime bait, a flutter spoon especially, but make sure you're still matching that hatch. And that's why most of the time I'm going to use a 6-inch or less spoon during the summer. And I do want to share with you probably one of my favorite rod reel combos that I use for that type of spoon. Now, for those smaller spoons, believe it or not, this is actually my A-rig rod. So if you don't want to carry around a bunch of rods, you know, I've got another couple of rods that I can use for my bigger spoons. But for those spoons, and if you're getting started with a spoon, heavily recommend those smaller spoons, those Mojos, those smaller Lake Fork spoons from Nichols, because this is going to do more than enough for you. This is the Cashin umbrella rig or A-rig rod. It's their core series. Love this rod. You guys seen us catch like four largemouth on an A-rig on this earlier this year that went like 16 pounds. It was so fun. But this is a 7-foot 10-inch, and I like that because you're going to throw these spoons a long way and they're going to go down deep. So you need that leverage, that longer rod to be able to set that hook. Heavy, moderate, fast action. Remember, you're dealing with treble hooks, so the great thing is it's got enough backbone to set the hook, but it's going to have a little bit of give so that they're not throwing all that metal on those big treble hooks that are hopefully going to be sticking out of their face holes very easily. This is, and what's great about Cashin, American made. Great company, American made right down to the blank. The blanks they make themselves, and they're just a very well put together rod. I've got this coupled, and I like the wide spool because I'm making a long cast. This is an older reel. This is a BB1 Pro. Now they're BB1 Pros, they're newer models, will work just as well, and I'll put links to that in the description. This is a 6-4-1. Now, this is a little slow in my opinion, but it works just fine for me. I've been fishing spoons for a long time. For you, I'd probably recommend starting out somewhere in that 7. But be careful, sometimes those higher speeds, you can pick up too much line too fast when you want the bait to be dropping. And throwing a spoon this time of year is a great way to catch those suspended bass, especially when you couple it with K9 Pro 100. I'm going to throw 15 to 18 pound test. To get the best action, you want to go with the lightest. I generally run 15. That's what I'm going to go with. And that is 100% fluorocarbon. I do have a 10% off discount. Go check out K9. I'm telling you, you will love it. Now, I know this is going to surprise you geeks, but number 2 is topwater. So the topwater bite's pretty good during June, but I wouldn't say it's really peaked out. It really starts to peak out for me generally around late July and as we go into August. But there's still some good topwater to be had in June. And of course, I'm going to always pull out my one knocker from Heddon. This is the Pearl Melon. This thing has caught a ton of fish, as you can tell. And yeah, I just love it in clear water. It just works extremely well. Next up, it's gotta be my prank. And I keep telling you geeks, if you have not tried this little bait right here, you need to. The prank is a hybrid bait that will dive and has an incredible side-to-side kick when it dives underwater. So if they're not willing to commit, this bait gets bit when none of the other topwaters will. This is in bone, one of my favorite colors for this lake, especially this time of year. Now, if you guys didn't see the video on this incredible little bait last year, you need to wait until you get to the end of this video, and I will share a link to that video for you. This thing does it all. And literally, You don't even need another topwater bait. I mean, it pops, it walks, it chugs, it rips, you name it, it does it all. And for those of you that want to know, this is still the same tail. Been a year, haven't had to replace it one time. It does come with spares though, by the way. And this is the Thunderhawk Papa Walker. And this is a little bait that I've been falling in love with. This is from Demiki, and I'll be honest with you, I'll leave links in the description. Guys, make sure you go check those links out. Either scan this code on your phone or click that link, bookmark it, so that you can make sure that you use this link when you go make purchases from Tackle Warehouse. It doesn't cost you a penny extra, but it does help us out, putting a little bit of gas in the old green goblin. And this again is from Demiki. This is their popper. It is incredible. It walks incredibly well. It chugs incredibly well. They've got some incredible colors to it, and I have really been getting into this one a little bit more. It's a little more affordable than the other one that's a lot like it, but that's a little more that I'll show you next. And again, this is another one that has done a lot of work for me. This is the Royal Rico. This is the popper. You can tell I'm gonna have to put a new feather treble on the end. I don't even remember the name of this color. Again, we'll put links in the description. But yeah, this is an incredible bait. Yes, they do cost $23, but I'm just telling you, they catch more fish. That is number 2. And really number 1 has to be this bait right here. Whether it's deep, whether it's medium, whether it's shallow, I'm telling you, they are keying on the shad right now, and this bait gets bit when nothing else does. I love the 2 colors that I'm about to show you. One is for open, ultra clear water. The other is for a little dingier water. Now, Ramsey makes them in a ton of different colors, but you can do so much with a 5-inch or above soft plastic swim bait. This is Ghost Shad, which Ramsey baits make, and it is one of my absolute favorite baits to throw, coupled with the Ledge Head Lures Ledge Head. And the reason why I like that so much is because the Ledge Head puts a lot of weight here and gives you just a little more head roll, and it does that for any bait that you put that ledge head on. Trust me, the ledge head looks a little bit awkward, but it is the best swim bait head on the market, period. I've used it for years. I really, truly, hardly ever use anything else on these bigger swim baits. Like I said, this is Ghost Shad. It is the clear water killer. Now, like I said, he does make them in a bunch of different colors. He also makes them in 2 sizes. I prefer the big one this time of year, but sometimes as the sun comes up, the 3.75, yeah, can be good. And that is a girthy, get your drinks out, girthy little swim bait right there. But you can see some of the other colors. And probably one of my favorite hollow body swim baits is this right here. Again, in the Ghost Shad color. This bait has caught me a ton of big fish, especially when the lake murkies up a little bit, maybe some summer rains that have come through. This has a lot of body roll to it, has a big kicker tail on it, so it's going to have a lot of action. It's going to really call fish from a long way away. And this is from Strike King, the Shadowlicious. Now this also comes in a few different colors. My 2 favorite is the Ghost Shad and the Blue Back Shad, I think it's called. Anyway, links in the description. The good thing about June is that the big shad have moved out and offshore. So that's why I like to use big baits. Now as we get into July, that's going to start to change a little bit as all those fry begin to move out there too. Whether they be panfish, whether they be bass, or whether they be shad, it doesn't matter. But in June, it's big bait season. Fish those deep edges of those grass, those ledges, those points, those humps. You are going to catch some big old bass. Now, if you want to see an in-depth video on that Papa Walker from Thunderhawk, and I'm telling you, it's a great bait and does everything, make sure you go check out this video right here. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comments section below. You geeks know that I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get these videos when they come out. Be part of that 100% watch squad. It helps us out so much, or just as big as a percentage as you can be. And you geeks rock.